Thank you so much for joining me today in the throne room. Now, today, for all my throne room members and also those that are not yet members at this time, I'll go ahead and do a real quick recap of Game of Thrones. The last episode, which I have not yet to review, is The Spoils of War. And I'm going to go ahead and go in on that. The director on this one was Matt Shackman, and also, we all know the writers, David Benoff, D.B. Weiss, whatever. August 6th was when this aired, and let's go ahead and get it, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the throne room. Now go ahead and bend the knee or die. Now, Arya returns to Winterfell, where she reunites with Sansa and spars with Brienne, both of whom are basically doing some things together. Both of them do have some exceptional fighting skills, and Arya wants to let her know that she's doing her thing. So Bran unemotionally bids farewell to Mira, basically saying that he is no longer the boy she accompanied to Winterfell, and she returns back and says no, because he died in the cave. Moving forward, Littlefinger presents Bran with a dagger that was previously used in attempted assassination, which probably started, the War of the Five Kingdoms. Cersei then, meanwhile, back in where she's sitting in King's Landing, Cersei assures the Iron Bank will have a full return on their investment. As this is being said, he does ask again, when the gold was going to arrive. Looks like he's in a rush to leave. Can't blame him. Cersei's just kind of crazy. So in this case, in High Garden, there's a loot train carrying gold from High Garden, and it's on its way to King's Landing. And so in this case, Bronn, Jaime talk about what he's promised after this. And Jaime throws him a sellsword bag and says, hey, you're going to be rich, so it doesn't matter, and you'll have a place, big castle. You get to pick which one you want, being that nobody will be in them. So in this case, I feel like this is a real telling area as far as where Bronn has, been taken as a character. And he's moved forward, where he was from the beginning. He's definitely not poor anymore. He has money. He's been knighted. He's doing his thing. And Bronn, I would say, is definitely doing better than he was before. So moving forward, meanwhile, back in Dragonstone, Daenerys and Jon are in a cave filled with dragon glass, and Jon reveals to her, just so happens, these are paintings from the Children of the Forest. Tells her about the paintings and telling her those are the first men, the Children of the Forest, joining forces against the undead. So that only, solidifies what he's come here to do. Basically letting her know, look, this is definitely an issue. We're down in this cave. You see what's being drawn here. Maybe this is left for a reason. So later Daenerys learns of sacking of High Garden by Lannisters and their forces, and realizes that her attack on Castle Rock was a distraction. So she figures that out right within a second. Because they feel like I think that Cersei probably knew what he was going to do, and so did Jaime. They know him, so they know that he's the hand now of Daenerys. And despite Tyrion's protest, she decides to do her own thing. She's like, I'm tired of the clever plans. And then she asks Jon what she should do, which I think, kind of made Tyrion like, what? She's going to ask him. He just got here, and he's about to be her prisoner now. She asking him what to do. I thought I was the one in charge. So that was kind of a slight, for me. And I was like, wow, maybe she shouldn't be doing that in front of Tyrion. But she did say, maybe you don't want to kill your family. Maybe you're just trying to play us, kind of in a way. But she knows that he's who he is. So there's been some talks in the fans and people that love the Game of Thrones like myself have been thinking, what if he betrays her? I don't think so. And I'll be going into that later on my other character profiles that I've been working so hard on. So as soon as I'm done with the reviews for The Spoils of War, Eastwatch, Beyond the Wall, and The Dragon and the Wolf, I'm going to go ahead and do some individual character profiles of each and every character on the show, so that are left over. Because as we know, some people are definitely not going to make it to the end of the season. All right, so with that being said, Drogon and Daenerys run over to High Garden because, they want to help Lena. I mean, obviously they don't want her to die. The dothraki cavalry catches the Lannister army by surprise and decimate and capture remaining forces. At this point, she's already been told that, Olenna's dead, obviously. So with that being said, she catches everybody surprised, She decimates, captures remaining forces, tells them to bend the knee or die. Drogon is wounded by Bronn and the scorpion that Qyburn gave to them. Unfortunately, that was a scorpion gun to kill with, and that's what almost killed Drogon. But hey, Bronn's the one that pulled the trigger, whatever the case is. Jaime mounts a desperate charge to horseback to vulnerable Daenerys as she gets off to try to pull the spear out. But Drogon turns his head and just gets him. So he's dead, almost. But Bronn ends up tackling Jaime into the river, goes to save him, and voila. That was the end of the Spoils of War. And I think, it was a pretty good episode. My own take on it was good CGI. I love the way all the costumes look. Daenerys is actually wearing some tight clothing, and I really want to know who her designer is. Very, very nice. I think in this case, Daenerys gets best dressed, and so does Missandei, because they always look like they slayed. But they're slaying it, I'll say. But in this case, the Spoils of War was really interesting because I felt like Dany kind of let her guard down. I also like the fact that her and Missandei exchanged looks when they went to go look at Jon Snow as they went down into Dragonstone's attic, so I won't say attics, their basement, to go see what was going down with the Dragonstone. I felt that was cool. The only thing that I did not mention in this was that she killed Samwell Tarly's dad. Now, I don't know how this is going to work with him, if he's going to be kind of upset about that or not, or maybe happy that somebody else did it, and that way you don't have to worry about his dad killing him. But let's talk about this for a second. Now, we all know back in, season 6, he stole it, and I was going to talk about this before. I think the reason he stole it was because his brother got burned by Daenerys, and also so did his dad at the same time. So that means if they would have had the sword, it would have just went into nothing. And being that, Sam is actually the last living man that can actually take that sword, as far as I know. I mean, maybe they have a family that we haven't yet to hear from. He's definitely got the sword, so... Unfortunately, his dad's dead, and, we're moving forward to the next one, which will be episode 65, Eastwatch, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. But my question for you, what do you think Sam's going to think about his dad getting killed? Now, if you've moved on, watched the whole series, good for you, but for all those that haven't, I think that you should really comment on this video. Let me know what you think, because I just want to know what you think as far as where you think David Benioff and D.B. Weiss are taking this show. Now, do you think that Sam's going to be like, okay, cool, I don't care, you killed my dad and my brother that's probably hated me a little bit just because my dad did. What do you think is going to happen? His mother is all alone, obviously at Horn Hill, and now Sam is actually at the Citadel. He doesn't even know yet.